Hi everyone, this is Debbie with Plan.Do.Repeat, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I've been arting and creating junk journals and different kinds of art for quite a few years, and today I'm going to show you how I make a really simple junk journal, and it's from materials that I had here on hand in my home. And you can do it too. It doesn't matter what you use, you can do it too. So I'm gonna show you everything that I'm gonna pile together inside of my little junk journals. I've got a couple already made, um, like this, but I'm gonna make this one a little bit different than these. So um, tag along and let's see what we can get into, okay? Alright, so I am using basically just regular file folders as the base, and these are 5 by 7, and I'm using craft paper to cover them. You can use other things like coloring books or Sudoku pages. You can use anything you want to cover the files. And this pad of paper, I have no idea where it came from, but it's so pretty, and I've had it for years, and I'm barely made a dent in it. So what I'm doing right here is just cutting a few pieces of the file folders to show you how I did it. I make it even, and then I go ahead and cut it 7 inches right there, and then 5 inches. So 5 by 7, and then I even that one out too, and then do it again, 5 by 7. Now for each one of these journals, I need to use 2 of those and 4 pieces of the craft paper. And I just showed one example of how to do the craft paper. So I have 4 sets of front and back already made up with paper glued to it. Now you can use, I use Fabri-Tac, but you can use a different kind of glue if you like. You can use a stick or a double-sided tape, but I would not suggest PVA, regular Elmer's glue, because it causes the paper to wave, and it doesn't look good, so I wouldn't suggest it. And then for the binding, I'm going to use this cotton. I dyed it with tea, and it used to be actually these little towels that I got at Walmart, and I dyed them along with this string and the lace, and they all came out so pretty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a swath of the cloth about, I don't know, about 3/4 of an inch over the middle, and I'm going to have about an inch in between the 2 sides. I'm not going to have them touching when I put the cloth on, and I'm just cutting as I go, and I'm going to cut the other pieces to for the other 2. I'm making 3 different junk journals. So these are all 3 cut, and I'm getting ready to glue this one, and it looks like I have the wrong one. Let me swap it back out. Okay, there we go. And I'm using the Fabri-Tac, and I'm putting the Fabri-Tac onto the material, not onto the paper. It makes it a lot easier to glue, and you know where the glue is. So I'm putting it on the other side here. I'm smearing it out so it's not in clumps. Make sure it's an inch apart. There we go. And I'm smearing it, and it's on. And now we have a binding. And I've been using these hand wipes from Dollar Tree. They're awesome. So I missed little parts of it, so I'm going ahead and gluing those on and smearing with my finger so that there's no clumps. And it's done. Now I'm going to do these others. All right, they're all done. Now I'm going to put another piece of the folder, the file folder in the middle here. I folded it in half and then folded each side into the middle. What I'm doing is I'm going to be making an inside cover so that I can have a little pocket on the inside cover, the original inside cover. I know it sounds silly, but it'll work, I promise. So I'm only going to glue the two middle edges, and I'm smearing it with my finger so that there's no clumps, and then gluing it right on. Make sure that it's smeared on, and make sure that you have the two sides pulled up so that they don't get stuck to the craft paper. There you go. See? Easy. And I cut them, I think, 10 by 7. And this is a book that I tea-dyed. It was made in 2005, and it's about trees, but they've got some beautiful illustrations in it, and I decided to glue these onto the inside covers, and I'm going to use this glue stick. It's an awesome glue stick, and I'll list it below in the description on my Amazon so that you can find it if you like it. And I bent it so that I could make sure that it will still bend. It's so that I can make a little cute hidden pocket on the inside. I think it's a great idea to do this, so that's why I'm doing this. And aren't these pretty illustrations? I just love it. Okay, so I'm going to do it to the other ones, and there we go. They're all done. And now I think I'm going to ink up I'm going to ink up all the edges, and I'm going to be using this Tim Holtz ink, and I picked out two of them, this brown one and this pink one. I picked out the walnut stain and decided that I really wanted the vintage photo instead, so I swapped them back out, and now I'm going to just I'm suggesting that you can also use something like shoe polish. I've tried that, and that package that I just showed you was actually from the Dollar Tree, and it works just fine. I've used it many times. But back to the Tim Holtz, and I am literally just inking down all of the edges, and it makes it look a little more vintage. I think it looks awesome. And I'm doing all the edges, inside and out, and in the middle. I like to get the corners. Alright. And then, so I did them all, and then I added a little bit of the pink too. I think it's adorable. Alright, so next I need to add paper, and these are from a pattern that I just think is adorable. I found it at a thrift store for like I think a dime. It was just so cheap. So I'm going to use the crinkly paper inside and the cover on the outside as part of the filler paper. You can use dictionary. This is a primer from the 1930s. You can use all different kinds of paper. This is from a journal. These are books that I've tea-dyed, doily paper, craft paper. You can use even ads from the newspaper. You can use anything you want, whatever you want. So basically all I'm doing is taking every single piece of paper that I have and I'm going to fold it in half. That's all I'm doing. Folding them all in half, and there we have it. They're all folded in half and stuck into each other. That's exactly what I did. I folded them in half and stuck them into each other. Some of them are half pieces. I got a paper bag in there. I found some wrapping paper that I put in there. I mean, you can put just about anything you can think of. I got a map from Kentucky, just all kinds of things. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. Now, I don't have any problem with it sticking out either. I really don't, out of the edges. So I'm going to cut a little bit around the edges, but not much. And then I'm going to stitch these signatures right into the covers that we made. So this is a pokey tool that I use. It's actually supposed to be used for creating ceramics and playing with clay, but I use the end of it as a pokey tool to poke through the signature. Now this is a real fatty, but I got it through. I'm just trimming it off just a little bit. I did use some of that Sudoku paper. Alright, and I do like to clip these together when I go ahead and do the pokey thing so that they all stay together. It's a lot easier. I'm trimming it again. But I like leaving it rough looking. I think it looks a lot better doing it that way. See, these I was showing you that they were a lot more uniform. This is not. This one is a true junk journal. Okay? So I use an old book underneath so I don't poke through on my my mat. And then I'm clipping them together. And now I'm poking it with the pokey tool. And I do 3 holes, 1 in the middle and then 2 on the sides. And I just pokey poke. And then I twirl around really good so that the hole is a little bit bigger than the pokey tool, so that my thread can get through. And that's it. I mean, it's really easy. It's not rocket science. This is just one of the biggest needles I could find. And this is the thread that I'm using just because it was close to me. That's the only reason why I'm using it. And then you go in through the middle and then come in from the side, out, and then back in on the other side and back in on the middle. And you have them both on each side of the middle, and you tie it into a knot and tie it to another knot, and that's it. Sometimes I put a bow and cut it, and that's what I did here, and it's done. See? It's easy, huh? So there you go. And there you have it. These are the 3 that I made. And they're just the beginning. They're just the basics of a junk journal. And I'm going to be going through and showing you different ways to work on it and embellish it. Each week I'm going to show you something new and different. I'm going to do a little flip through to show you what I've done so far. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after I've embellished all 3 of these and made them all nice and pretty, I think I'm going to use one of them as a giveaway. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really glad that you're able to stop in and see how I'm doing this. These feel so good in the hand. The paper's all crinkly and the outside feels good in the hand, and I'm really enjoying showing this to you, and I hope that you can stick around and give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, peace out.